With the bill concerning privacy and station regulation of the press, the king has unexpectedly doesn't not curtain with what it doesn't intend.
I have done all I can to ease his mind, but it is not personal and despite he curtain knowledge that the royal assent is ceremonial and not a tool. He has continued without his pen. We are currently negotiating still in order to progress, but here I say, importantly, that first we must defend democracy itself and leave aside our diverse views on what the bill contains. So to this end, I will make a pledge. The either printed with the royal assent or standing from without his regal sign. The measure will be law within the month.
I'm speaking from the palace to you all. Reluctantly, tonight, I had a hope. My ministers and I could find a way to circumvent a public field like this. But driven by my conscience, I have declined to pass a law that will give government the right and power to restrict and then decide what is acceptable to say in print. Once fragile politicians can, while claiming public sensitivity, go censoring what's read or not, it will be easier to govern as corrupt than bother being held under account. And therefore I, who stands outside the row, and tumble of experience, to caution them and ask they think again. So far, they have refused, so now do I, as king and servant to the populace, request your understanding and your trust that this, a rare but necessary act, is not me stepping too far from the throne, but is my duty and fulfilling what the king or queen is sworn by oath to do.
I stopped at a doubt with once you king. Perhaps it will reduce an angst you feel. City affairs has lines I never saw before, and in this light your hair looks far more pale that I remember. Is it worth the pain?
I don't know if you're right. I do evolve. Demeanor is the last few weeks, it's true. But in myself, I feel much greater strength.
You sit there at your desk and work and read, and which man's vacancy trips that should be made, and let down crops who have looked forward to your presence there.
It is the days when I defy my monarch's voice. I need a time.
But that's not what people want. Please, come to me. Remember that we fulsome praise the Queen, that must resolve was that she always filled. You'd used even in the last 2 years, and similar for you, remember when in Severus the levers sang beneath. The waters of the flood you were first to make into the problem, and we met with clapping, admiration, and despite the upset there, so many smiles. For you, the future king, have given hope where hope has disappeared, and now we need the same. Dear Charles, I wasn't sure to tell you, but someone waits to see you tonight. I know it's late, and when I heard he had arrived so unaccusement, I said to hold and let you finish dinner. Then we'd see your mood before we grant him audience.
Not Mr. Evans. No, I'm tired. Tell him.
Mr. Evans waits.
Send him in and leave us here to speak.
Be careful, Charles. I do not trust him.
My darling Charles, your face, it is so pale. You often look even so, but not like this.
It said my name.
You think I didn't love you? That's not true. I always cared and I wanted best, but you rejected me, and so I left.
Diana?
But in all that time, I never hoped, I never thought that you
What do you mean, you never thought?
never recalled on the fact that you as crown, who worries about the way you look and stroll, your hair down into place and nervously, the touch about your lip when getting sad, will be the greatest king we ever had.
The greatest king? But stop! Please wait! I didn't understand! Explain! But no, he drifts away like mist at dawn. Oh God, if anyone did see me now, we're a brand new king who, sleepless, runs towards the made-up nonsense in his head. But yet, she's quite beautiful. I know the walk.
With the bill concerning privacy and statute regulation with the bill concerning privacy and statute regulation of the press, the king has expanded with the bill concerning privacy and statute regulation of the press, the king has expectedly refused to grant assent.
Слушайте, вы можете нормально динамично идти?
From the palace to you all, recounted tonight, I had a hope. My ministers and I will find a way to common and serve to the populace, request your understanding and your trust. Заново.
You sit there at your
It in these days when I defy my monarch's words. It is these days when I defy my monarch's voice. I need the time.
You sit there at your desk and work and read, and which man...
When I defy my monarch's voice. I need the time.
But not what people want.
Что там дальше?
It must resolve, but... Remember that the fools impress the queen. It must resolve, but... And now we need the same. But someone waits to see you here tonight. Куда тут мужик? Ничего, да не...
И где ты?
But in all that time, I never hoped, I never thought that you
Я забыл.
Ты куда прешься?